Guenther Steiner is seemingly not satisfied with the way things ended with Haas, to the point of taking the entire case to court because of the treatment he received at the ending stages of their relationship. The controversial and superstar figure of Guenther feels like the American outlet has been using a lot of his services in a way of unauthorized likeness, but on top of that, he's also blaming the team for unpaid commissions. So with this in mind, could we see Haas enter into yet another financial fiasco after they've finally made a step forward in 2024? And more importantly, how will this reflect on the entire future of the team that is pushing hard to return to the midfield? Guenther Steiner has formally launched a lawsuit against Haas for alleged unpaid commissions as well as unauthorized use of likeness. While the first reason is easy to understand, regardless of whether Steiner is in the right or not, the second one has raised some eyebrows in the Formula One world, due to the fact that it was Haas, the team, that provided him with the opportunity to be present in the sport and to build the image and reputation that he built for himself. So it will be very interesting to see where the situation will end up on that matter. Regardless, the former Italian principal of Haas believes that the team breached the contract that they had with him and have refused to pay commissions that he says he's owed from the final employment agreement. His departure did come as a shock, especially to the Drive to Survive fans who were mostly watching the show due to his interesting and rather controversial statements and superstar appearance, which brought Haas a lot of attention even though they fought at the back of the field and were barely scoring any points. But now that Haas is at P7 and is closely pushing for the P6 seat in a fight with the Racing Bulls, this is the last thing that the team needs, especially if Guenther turns out to be in the right. The amounts of money that Steiner believes are owed to him are still unknown to the public, but he is willing to go through an entire lawsuit process. I'm sure we're not talking about pennies or nickels here. What is even further strengthening his argument is the fact that this process has been going on since 2021, and in addition to that, Steiner believes that there is another amount of money that he's owed as a team principal from 2021 to 2023, apart from the commissions that the entire lawsuit revolves around. The passage from Steiner's legal team has been released to the media, in which they write, "After years of accepting the benefits of Mr. Steiner's reputation, experience and deep connections within the sport, Haas F1 cannot withhold Mr. Steiner the benefits he has earned. While many are praising the uprise that Ayao Komatsu has done for the team, it's worth mentioning that what we are seeing right now is a product of Steiner because he was heavily involved in the development of the 2024 car. However, the owner of the team, Gene, was not satisfied with the direction in which the team was moving under his leadership and reportedly had no patience to wait for results, as one of the primary reasons for their departure was due to the fact that Steiner wanted more money for independent facilities, while Gene believed that the current structure could work if managed properly. Regardless, the partnership ended, and now Steiner feels like he has been treated poorly, not just from a moral point of view, but from a legal one as well. Apart from the commissions that Haas is allegedly owing Steiner, the Italian has brought up a very interesting point that needs to be looked at: the team selling merchandise with Guenther's likeness without proper compensation. This has been stated as an official point of discussion in the legal documents, and if this is proven to be true, then the American squad will be in huge trouble, because after both parties have gone their separate ways, the Italian engineer did not receive any royalty payments, therefore making this entire case illegal by law. Furthermore, the filing wrote, "Haas F1 has no right to use Mr. Steiner's name, image and likeness or to exploit them in any form of media after the termination of his employment. Haas F1 has not compensated Mr. Steiner for its unauthorized use of his name, image and likeness." Whether we like it or not, Steiner was one of the main reasons why Haas generated as much attention as they did. Because for a team that finished P10 in 2023 with just 12 points to their name, as well as being dead last in 2021 with 0 points as well, it is definitely a bonus that they had such a charismatic character that was able to draw a lot of sponsors to the team. This is something that Guenther spoke about as well, but what is most important now is that Guenther's legal team claims that the notoriety and personality of Guenther helped in the process of Haas going from an upstart racing team to a formidable brand on the F1 circuit, again while fighting with the back markers and celebrating P10 finishes like they've just won the championship. What is also worth mentioning is that Nico Hülkenberg, the man who will be leaving Haas at the end of the year and will be focusing on the Audi project, has been brought in mostly due to the influence of Steiner. While many were bashing him for the treatment he gave to Mick Schumacher and not giving him the right car to improve on, we see that Nico is the man who scored the majority of the points for Haas in 2024 and is pushing them to P7, which is a place that would bring them tens of millions of dollars at the end of the year if they manage to keep it until the end of the season. Yes, the new leadership under Komatsu is definitely an improvement in the management section, but again, performance-wise, the car and everything revolving around it has been massively affected by Steiner because he was released from the team before the beginning of the 2024 season, more precisely in January. The reasons, as I stated earlier in this video, have been related to the lack of results as well as the lack of patience, as Gene Haas went on public to say that he's tired from finishing P10 and is finally ready to get back in the midfield. But according to Steiner, it would be impossible to achieve what Gene wants without spending a lot more than what he's spending right now, because under the current business model, Haas is not producing anything. Their chassis is produced by Dallara while they're buying every single part they're allowed from Ferrari. When talking about this matter to a further extent, Steiner went on to say, Gene thought that this is the way he wants to take the team forward, and that is his decision, not mine. He owns the place, so if you own something, you have the right to do what you want. I had the option to leave before, and looking back now, maybe I should have left. But now I have the opportunity to see things from an external perspective and understand why I got so frustrated. It's easier to understand when you don't have the daily routine of your job and can focus on doing your best. Although Haas declined to comment on this matter, it is evident that they would have to deal with a lot of paperwork, and quite frankly, if they're proven wrong, then it would be a fair compensation that they would have to pay to the Italian engineer, which is the last thing they would need amidst talks that they could be selling the team due to poor performance and a lack of investments. What is interesting is that Haas is likely to return to their old ways, which are to sign rookie drivers, but this time it's only going to be halved because they will be relying on Magnussen's experience to bring out the best of the squad, while the likely replacement for Hülkenberg, which is Ollie Behrman, will try to prove that he's ready for big shot teams like Ferrari. As for Steiner, his future is still uncertain, but in a direct interview he revealed that he's not ready to take over the role of team principal of any existing team on the grid, not that they're offering one per se, but would rather wait for an 11th or 12th team to join. What he would be paying close attention to is whether or not a squad would be performing poorly and an opportunity for his abilities would arise. But right now he's monitoring the Andretti situation very closely because he believes that he would have a legitimate chance to prove he is the right candidate for the American team. With all this in mind, do you think that Steiner is in the right to sue Haas about the unpaid commissions and the unauthorized usage of likeness? Let us know in the comments below. And once you do that, make sure to click on the video that is appearing on your screen right now.